Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to episode 2 of the Unranked to Crystalline Conflict Ranked series. I use the word crystal a lot in that introduction there, so I'm not sure I'm going to reduce the word bloat there, but neither here nor there. I'm going to just take this time to basically introduce you to the start of the episode, but not only that, explain why, there might have been a lack of uploads, even though there's only been like one video in the series. Mostly what I'm trying to explain or take the time before the episode starts, if you will, to explain is that lately I have been recording footage, I have been recording gameplay, but you see, the gameplay isn't something that I would consider YouTube quality. And you might think, well, isn't that the point of the series? You wanted to show every single game from start to finish, from bronze to crystal, right? And while I do get that sentiment, I do get that from even my own definition of what the series is going to be about. I do find, or did find through my analysis of all the different clips, of all the different gameplay things, and so on and so forth, that really it wasn't something of quality, right? Like I can't really put into words what I mean by this, but essentially, every single clip was either good gameplay or bad gameplay, right? Which is obviously, once again, something we want. But in a majority of them, when had lost a game, for example, turned very sour. I was very, oh, it's this guy's fault, or oh, I didn't win because of this insert reason. And at the end of the day, I felt like that wasn't really going to be well liked. It wasn't going to be well received. So therefore, that's why I'm going to start from where I am now, which I will show you in a minute. I was just alt tabbed. I'm actually bronze 1 2 star. Now, that isn't too far off from where I last left off. I mean, 2 divisions from where I last left off, which I think was bronze 3 1 star. It's not the end of the world. There were many games played in between that. I would say roughly 10 to 15 if I were to reckon a guess. But it's still within the bronze category, so I don't think it's that detrimental that I'm starting from where I am. I can understand if I'm starting from gold from episode 1 to now, but we're still in the bronze category, so I think I would take this time to be very honest and open with you guys regarding where the series was, or where the series was going, or where it is now. And yeah, without further ado, I think I'll just hop into the first game of the series to at least demonstrate the level of quality, the level of precision, the level of insert word that is supposed to demonstrate good quality, right? Because like I said, that wasn't just something I was gonna throw out and then have all these like nasty comments or whatever, right? So yeah, other than that, guys, enough yapping. We'll just jump right into game number 1, which would be. Alrighty, we got our first pop of the night here. This is going to start on Volcanic Heart, the map that's different from last episode, which was going to cover mainly Palestra. It's good that we're actually getting different maps, different varieties here, because I do want to also demonstrate that, Viper, or just CC in general, CC being short for Crystalline Conflict, of course, can, impact your level of gameplay, can make a difference based on the map sometimes, because I do recall maybe somewhere in episode 1, don't know exactly where, I mentioned something to the effect of that, given that I'm playing Viper right now, Viper was going to run into issues on some maps and have a lot of advantages in others. At the moment, as I'm talking right now, I can't really think one way or the other where that would have happened, but I will say that, it was going to happen eventually. And I don't know, like, I think, having started on Volcanic this episode was going to be a nice demonstration, a nice test of my reflexes, as cringe as that sounds. But we'll see how it goes. I do want to keep things very educational, very lighthearted, very chill, as you may know, or as you already see, and also to keep it on live commentary-esque things. That's the hardest part. When I was like reviewing the previous clips, I realized that I dropped live commentary sometimes in the name of focusing on gameplay, but really I'm just going to play to my strengths here, which is to play as I talk. So focusing on the play versus the talk first. And yeah, so we're going to open in on this game. We're going to follow the same strategy that we've been using for all the previous games, and also taking advantage of the idea that we probably have one of the only ranged attacks that, or no, my mistake. We have Machinist right now and Picto, but, you know, I mean in the sense that we're ranged melee, if that makes sense. I think other jobs that fall into that category are maybe Red Mage and things like that. I'm going to Snake Skills this. I'm going to negate as much damage as I can, reflect it back, and immediately go into Guard, which I do not have. The reason why I wanted to go into Guard was to negate the Ninja Stun there, which unfortunately caught me. It is what it is, but we're going to go right back into this. It's okay. If we lose this one, it is what it is. I don't mind, but I don't think we will, given that we just got the kill, thanks to our Pictomancer. Our Warrior's going to go down, unfortunately, which is unfortunate. It is what it is. I'm currently what I like to call black screen, meaning like I'm in the process of spawning but haven't really spawned yet. I see the crystal is being pushed away, so that means somebody's going to have to respond to that, which is going to be the summoner here. Maybe I can get my teammate here who's also seeing this happening, but they're going to walk away here, and what I'm going to do is just push the crystal very quietly, make sure nobody's watching. Right, and at least get the advantage back on my team's favor, because we literally had 0% crystal progress. This is going to help my team actually fight for the 50%, which is a pivotal moment in the game to achieve, given that you don't have to work as hard if you reach overtime. I'm going to just do the standard Viper stall strat that I've taught in episode 1, and maybe my team can come save me from disaster here, inevitable doom. And they will. They were busy with the Gunbreaker here, which, I mean, too little too late. But they do have all LBs here, so this is going to be huge once we can find a way to coordinate our LBs together. That's the enemy summoner LB, which might foil the plans a little bit, but it is okay. We're still making comeback to the best of our ability. There's plenty of time in the clock here, so that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not too worried if we even lose this or if anything catastrophic happens, because we still have a chance to make a comeback here. Even I have a chance to turn this around right here, which I think I'm going to do right now. I think I'm going to use my LB on the summoner here. Perfect call from whoever that was. I'm going to just open everything summoner because they have no recoup, then immediately switch to this ninja here, who's also the lowest mana, continue my LB combo. And I shouldn't have recouped here because the ninja was definitely going to go for the potion here, but they won't. I'm going to just keep chasing ninja until they actually run out of resources here. I don't even care if I die in the process, because so long as that ninja's not in the fight here, then it's going to make everybody on my team's job easier. I should probably focus on my own HP. And I know they might go for stun here after Yosho or whatever the shuriken throws are. I negated his stealth, which is huge. And then I'm going to go back into this fight here. I know my teammates are trying to fight for the 50 here. I should probably help them clear some kills here. And I do exactly that. The summoner is going to fall back here, and I'm going to take this time to Elixir. I only have 2 recoups to my name. I want all 4. I heard my LB ding there, so I'm going to just open on this Gunbreaker, who now has Nebula. I do not want to fight into the Nebula. I'm going to just be throwing my ranged attack there. There's the Ninja LB from the enemy team. I don't know if that's our Reaper LB. I don't think it is. It is their Reaper LB, so I'm going to fall back here, make sure I don't get caught in any nonsense. The Ninja's definitely going to look for execute on me. I'm going to just, you know, reset here, make sure my LB is still active a little tiny bit, so I can go for Ouroboros play and do a heal for free. Then immediately into Snake Scales, because the animation will still play. I'm going to just take all the damage here, make sure that I buy time for my team here to make sure we maintain our 50 advantage, because if we go into overtime while we have 50 advantage, this is going to make it so much, and I mean so much easier to win the game, given how catastrophic things started off. But neither here nor there. There's our Warrior LB. It's huge. We also have Reaper, Machinist, Picto LB on the table here, so we can actually make plays as best as we can using our resources. And, you know, it's not even that big of a deal right now. The game state is completely in our favor. They only have 30 seconds to try and reach our 50, which at the rate they're going and my team's going, it's probably not going to happen. So that's what I mean. Like, we need to maintain our advantage in terms of percentage early on, so that way we can have an easier time when things have to turn around for them to make the comeback. Or, you know, best case scenario is that we just win the game automatically because they don't even touch the point, right? We can definitely work off that. So I'm going to just take this time to scale. There's a lot of things going on here. There's a deep freeze on me. I'm going to guard up and look for their ground pot. Let everything happen. Let everything reset. Let anybody chase me if they want to. I'm going to just reset with my Elixir here. And then I'm probably going to go on point with Guard and Scales once they come back off cooldown. I'm not sure why my Machinist LB'd there, but they're going to pay the price for it, unfortunately. They're going to die out of Guard here. I'm not going to go on point without my resources, because those are the things that are going to make the game playable. I think I'm going to go in now. So I'm going to Scales up here. Make sure everybody sees that I'm clearly in Scales. They're going to take all this damage. Reset Scales, actually. This is going to be perfect, actually, because they see I'm low HP, meaning they're going to hit me more. I negated the Summoner Stun, and then I'm going to take the Ninja LB, or Ninja Burst, that's okay. I LB'd here. This is huge because, fun fact, Viper LB is actually AoE. We're going to take a lot of damage, but they get off the point. This is what I'm talking about, man. This is a beautifully demonstrated game. I'm so glad I actually got to record this. I'm sorry if the audio got a little bit loud there, guys, but this is what I'm talking about. This is good Crystalline conflict. This is exactly what I wanted to demonstrate with this series. So I'm going to cut off the clip here. This is a perfect YouTube clip. This is the stuff I wanted to record, just so you guys know. Anyways, let's end it here. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, this is game number 2 of episode number 2. I like how the 2's lined up there. And we're going to be just going right into this with the same positive mindset, the same positive mentality, because, when I was recording the previous games that I was mentioning, I actually started off what I would have made episode 2 with a loss. And that loss basically made the whole mindset, the whole vibe just go downhill, and that's what I mean like that I did not want to upload. Given that we started off great here, given that this was an amazing game number 1 to demonstrate a whole lot of different things, I can go into this episode 2 and this re-recording of episode 2, if you will, with a much more positive mindset, without any sort of toxicity or negativity, right? Because I can see myself going down that slippery slope, and I don't want this to just be a complaining / bitching series. So, we're going to just try and make this as educational, as chill, as positive as we can. So anyways, as I was recording those episode 2 clips, by the way, I always was noting the different comps, how we were going to fare in just the 15 to 30 seconds that I get. So given that I have 10 seconds, I literally have 10 seconds. This comp is not good. Their comp is good. They have healer, a gunbreaker, which is tank. We do not have a healer, so we have to play very carefully here so that we don't fall into what is known as a stagger, meaning we do not coordinate very well on spawns and stuff like that. So anyways, we're going to just open on this white mage here. We're going to open also on anybody who is ballsy enough to make a play here. I'm going to just throw my ranged attacks here as sort of pokes. I might have described what the reason was if I haven't done so already. It's just to make sure that the enemies are low. They're really cluttered together. It would have been nice to get a nice couple of range attacks in. I'm going to use my GCD here. I was going to demonstrate this in the previous episode too. Use your GCD, OGCD from the main combo into a ranged attack. That deals a nice little bit of burst damage. I'm going to fall back here because I have no recoups. I'm going to make sure that, I come back into these fights really healthy because I do not want to contribute to more deaths. As you can see, we're down -2 player advantage. I do see this Gunbreaker's really low. Perfect, we pick him. And then I'm going to go into this Monk who's the second lowest, or the lowest mana on their team. I might even LB this, but I want to make sure that their Row, or Riddle Verf, is out off the table here, which it is. So now I have all the room to open on them, make sure that they have no mitigation. I'm going to go towards the potion here, make sure they don't get it. And then I'm going to continue chasing and making sure that I continue chasing all the way to their next potion, which is going to be over here. It's okay if they grab it, because as long as this Monk is out of the fight here, it's going to make all the difference. They're going to now turn on me. I'm going to Scales and immediately do the Viper stall tech. It doesn't even matter if I die here. Even a Meteor comes out. That's fine by me. I could care less, honestly, because this Monk had to waste resources on a person that chased them in their spawn and now has to come back into this fight really low. So the odds of them winning this fight are going to be pretty low. If my team knows what they're doing, we should win this in theory, just based off the resources that were blown on me, just one player. You see what I'm talking about? They're slowly falling apart as a result of diverting their attention to me, something I was demonstrating in what I'd like to call OG episode 2, but now I can demonstrate with much more positive, much more educational value here. So I was demonstrating in the original series that, I wanted to divert attention here so that I can demonstrate the power of what is known as the art of ratting. These are different terms that I'm going to be throwing around as a form of, educating you guys on different CC terminology, different CC metas, techs, etc. So the ratting strat is very scummy, but, it's part of the game. It's part of something you just have to deal with, and I thought I would do that with that demonstration there. As you can see, the Monk is using my own strategy against me, which is completely fine. I could care less, but hey, they didn't get anything off of it, so now here we are. The game is in our advantage. We have 50%. Remember I said that this is the exact same state we want to be in. I'm going to Viper LB into this guy, and then immediately look to this guy who's in guard, This samurai is going to definitely die at a guard here. They have no resources. We're going to look to this guy who's also out of position here. Just Gunbreaker. This is going to be the first person we see. They're probably going to Nebula here if they were smart, but they do not have it, I don't think. That's a White Mage LB. We got to be very careful here. Oh my god. I'm going to throw ranged attacks. Hopefully they die off of it. I'm going to reset immediately. Maybe this Red Mage is going to cancel me. They don't. I'm going to just take advantage of that. They let me reset for free. I'm going to Scales here. They're going to have to deal damage to me whether they like it or not, because they will not move point. I'm going to just reset my skills once again. Keep stalling, stalling, stalling. There's the Red Mage LB that was wasted onto my skills, and now I'm going to just guard. They have no way to stop me. I literally have maybe 10 seconds of stalling power. It is a 1v2 that is now going to blow up in their face because they have no way to respond to my team shifting focus on them. They've wasted all their resources. This is exactly a perfect lesson to demonstrate all of that. Wow. It's crazy how everything lined up in this episode for me to show you. So there you go. That's all my Viper LB. That's a Gunbreaker LB I should walk away from. I'm going to take the Ground Pot and immediately Elixir here so I can go back into the fight with full HP. And then I'm going to just continue my LB while it still has time here. Ouroboros for the heal. And unfortunately I couldn't get it to go off because the target died before the animation. Yes. Anyways, we're going to see this White Mage come up here. I'm going to throw some ranged attacks, get them really low before they can even make a move here. This is going to cost them a lot here because White Mage does have LB coming up. And that's going to really change the flow of the game here. That makes sense? That White Mage LB, especially in the state that my team is in, like look at this, that would have killed all of us if that White Mage LB went off. So it's good that we killed them before they could make a difference or a reverse play. I don't know what to call it. Anyways, Monk is gonna go down here for sure. Out of guard, they're dead. I'm gonna make sure that they die out of guard, and then never mind, we're gonna just go Gunbreaker here. I gotta be careful because they have Nebula, so I don't want to waste too much on resources. I'll just let my teammates take the damage. I'm gonna continue on this Red Mage here, who decided to be a little hero. Unfortunately, that's gonna backfire on them. Gotta be careful with the Samurai here. They do have Cheetan up, and also their LB, so we don't want to fight into that. I'm gonna wait a little bit, continue my LB combo, and there we go. They gotta kill somehow. Interesting. Oh, it's probably on a low target. We gotta make sure this Monk doesn't save the day. Unfortunately, they do, but Reaper comes up with an LB, gets them at a guard right before they can make a play, and that's game number 2, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to take this time to also show you the first jingle of leveling up or ranking up. Alright, so yeah, as you can see, that is literally the sound it makes when you level up or rank up. I don't know if anybody knew that, but I just thought I'd show you that real quick. To me, it sounds like a little like news jingle. Like whenever you tune into the nightly news, wherever you guys are in the world, that's what that reminds me of. Neither here nor there. Let's just call the clip there. Perfect game number 2. I think I'll take this series or this episode today until maybe high silver, low silver, depending on how we do. I just want to get a number of games in, maybe like 4 or 5 an episode, right? I think 4 is a nice number, and just so I don't make these episodes super long. But yeah, I'm gonna just take this time to cut off the clip here. We'll go into game number 3 right after this, right after these moments. I'm trying to make a connection there. Anyways, let me stop. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, this is gonna be game number 3 of the episode. This queue took a good while to pop, actually, almost like 5 minutes, and that gives me the time to now, or rather the opportunity to discuss something that's been on my mind regarding the series that I hope doesn't come to fruition. Like, I'm actually praying almost that it doesn't happen, but essentially, I remember when I was recording the original series of episodes for not the series, recording the series of clips for the episode, correction, that I stated something that to the effect of, you know, it's gonna be sort of like I'm on the clock here, that I have to like put these out as quickly as I can, because otherwise I could fall behind such that there's no more queues for the ranks that I'm queuing for, or, you know, making the series for. That's what I'm saying. Like, I have to kind of make these like pretty frequently, as quickly as I can, if that makes sense, because eventually there's going to get to a point where people like me, people that also are really good or making alts right now, unless you guys want to help me, if anybody who's watching wants to help pop the queues, by all means. But yeah, this stuff is going to be very hard to make as I, you know, put it off for longer. So just wanted to put that out there as a sort of disclaimer that you may expect more episodes as quickly as I can. Anyways, neither here nor there. We're going to open up on this game here, regular. We're going to look for this warrior here who's going to commit to an early game push. I'm going to throw my ranged attack on him. He's going to be dead at a guard here. I can almost guarantee it. Right, here we go. I'm going to open. The next person I see is this Red Mage, so I'm going to look Red Mage, who's low HP right now. I have my Dark Knight, who's going to be committing to this endeavor with me. I was waiting for this ground pop, but now I have to focus onto a new target here because that Red Mage is definitely going to reset here. I'm going to look the White Mage here, who's really low, and I'm also going to just regular GCD them, never stop doing damage. I want to focus mostly White Mage. I'm going to Scales here, make sure that I waste their time here. That's perfect. Immediately go into guard, waste even more time. And then I'm going to look to slither back on point here if I can. No, I'm going to just snake skills up again. It is what it is. I negate the ninja stun. That's huge, actually. I'm going to have to pull out a miracle here to live, but unfortunately I don't make it. That Red Mage is still going to live somehow. It is what it... Sorry about that. Yeah, the Red Mage is going to live here. It's okay. And we're going to look into for a reset here because things are not going well. Anyways, yeah, so basically we're going to open on whatever's at our spawn here, one at a time. I'm going to look this warrior, who's most likely going to be the most vulnerable, given that they really have no escapes here. I'm going to look for my own HP, make sure I don't get caught by anything stupid here. Look for ground pot, and warrior's still really low here, unfortunately. Nobody's focusing them except me. Feels bad, man. 3, 2, 1, out of guard. We're going to Viper LB. They're going to have to come this way because the map effects are going to force them this way. I'm going to make sure that they use up all their resources because they just LB'd themselves. I'm going to Scales into the dark zone here. Oh my god. And I get caught by Ninja LB on the last frame, unfortunate. It doesn't look like this is going to end pretty well, does it? Or maybe there is a chance at comeback here because the crystal just pushed back to the reset point. So they were all committed to spawn trapping us, not realizing that they lose the objective. There's plenty of time to make a comeback here. I'm not going to be a negative Nancy, right, because that's the one thing I said I wouldn't be in this episode. But there is a potential of a comeback. You know why? Because they're doing things like this, like chopping the point here. So we're going to make sure that we continue making them making that mistake, if that makes sense. I'm going to Scales out of guard here. Continue to get them to hit me. And that Red Mage is looking really low. We're going to make a kill, a play on them. Look at the White Mage here who just LB'd. Because that White Mage, even though they LB'd, does not mean they only did damage. They do have an active buff rolling right now. I'm going to throw everything White Mage still. And then just continue. While my team focuses on them, it's a 1v2 right now. And they're going to just divert all their attention to me. I just got Bard silenced. I'm going to guard here. And then I'm going to continue GCDing and then look for a reset here. I'm going to make sure that the Red Mage doesn't reset me. Perfect. I'm going to continue Red Mage, or actually ignore Red Mage. We're going to go back on point here. Look Bard. And then, yeah, continue looking Bard, actually. They have no mana, no resources. I'm going to make them take that ground pot if they can. And then immediately LB them after. This is going to ensure that I win the fight in the long run. I should have popped my Purify before they backstepped on me so that I could have immunity to it. It's okay. The Bard is still wasting all the resources. They're wasting their LB here for some reason too, not realizing that that was a huge waste. Even doing the post LB ability on me was a waste here. I'm going to make sure that, yeah, they stay on this fight here. They're pretty much dead. There's no way they live. I'm going to reset with Elixir here. I got to focus the objective here because my team seems to be falling apart, and it's okay if we lose this one. I do want to show the first loss of the episode if we can, just to show you that not all things are sunshine and rainbows in Crystalline Conflict land. But anyways, I'm going to just Snake Skills literally on top of the map mechanic, just so I can proc the Snake Skills return damage there. It was going to cost a lot, but it is what it is. I negated this White Mage LB with my guard, which is huge. I'm going to Purify the Ninja Stun, try and get out of the fight here, and then look for a reset with Elixir, as I have no mana. We're going to slowly make a comeback here because we do have resources. I hope this Dark Knight doesn't use their LB right away, because we might need it for the overtime plays that we're going to have to make here. I'm going to look this Warrior, who might not know that I have LB active right now. I get polymorphed. Warrior's dead out of guard here. I'm going to now look the White Mage, who's also caught here. And hopefully we make a comeback here. It's going to be a really hard-fought win if we do make it, but I will believe in my team here. I hope we actually do win this. This actually seems pretty winnable considering we have a Dark Knight LB, and that Dark Knight LB can be the difference between whether or not we actually have a chance at winning. But neither here nor there. Let's focus on the game here. I do have a Red Mage I have to kill here, make sure they don't live. They're going to look for their back potion. They have LB, so it's probably best that I keep them out of the fight so they don't blow up my teammates here, which they are going to most likely do. I'm going to scales here. My Dark Knight is an LB, so this is huge. I'm going to LB myself, and hopefully I make it back to point here. Oh my god, I'm going to take their ground pot and then immediately slither back on point. And I don't make it. Unfortunate. It is what it is, guys. I tried my best here. This was actually a pretty good game, even if it's a loss, just because really there was nothing to worry about. I think we definitely had it. We just needed to play a little bit better. But I did say that a loss was going to be good for the series because it shows how, you know, things can go south really quickly. And, you know, it's not something I'm going to beat myself up over compared to, like, the original recordings. Anyways, guys, that's game number 3. I'm going to probably do one more recording of this episode just so that I can have, you know, small bite-sized episodes for you guys to consume and not like these hour-long or 2-hour-long videos. I did get a comment recently that said, yeah, I only watched the first 2 games. Smile. There's nothing wrong with that. I do appreciate that you at least took the time to watch the video, but yeah. Anyways, neither here nor there. This is going to be end of the recording of game number 3. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be the last game of the episode. I'll take this time to ask for you guys to please do the YouTube thing. If you made it this far, please comment, rate, subscribe, like the video. Please hit that bell notification button. Guys, I need to really memorize that stuff because if I do make it big as a 14 content creator, which is my goal, man, that'd be my dream. If I could just reach out to every single person who wants to try PvP, like that's been my goal really with this series too, to, you know, make sure that people aren't intimidated, right? Neither here nor there. But yes, please do the YouTube thing. Like, comment, rate, subscribe, smile. Anyways, neither here nor there. We're gonna record this last game here and then call it for the episode. In your comments, by the way, guys, please let me know any feedback you want to give me regarding whether you like the series or not. I don't really mind either or, just so I can have an idea of who's watching, why they're watching, things of that nature. In my opinion, I think a nice balance of 30-minute long videos is great because to, you know, just have this playing in the background, which, you know, mind you, I do with some videos of my own. I don't even watch YouTube videos. I kind of just listen to them, if that makes sense. It sounds kind of weird and backwards, but yeah, just wanted to make sure what you guys think about the series, where you guys are headed with it, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, neither here nor there. Just wanted to take that time to do that. And with that being said, we're going to just take the 5 seconds. Good comp versus bad comp. I think we do have a shot at winning at this. I may explain, you know, why certain comps work, and potentially even explain why certain comps work in one of the clips that may follow. Not from any games that I've played, but in this episode, but a game that I played recently, to maybe give you an educational aspect to these episodes and stuff like that. If you guys are up to watch that, I don't know if I want to include it still. Anyways, we're gonna just open here, look the person on point, which is the red mage. I'm gonna continue opening on them and make sure that they waste all their resources. They're in guard right now. I kind of want to scales back up, coil, and then make sure I take all the damage here. Frame dash into the targets here, and make sure I go immediately into guard so I can negate more damage. I'm just acting as a pseudo tank right now for my warrior. And then we're going to just make sure we don't get caught by anything. I'm going to look back my back potion here. Thankfully, I negated the red mage stun with my purify up, so this is good. Red mage on topic, by the way, is really low right now. I hope they don't get to reset for free because that'd be really unfortunate. But honestly, I think this ninja is going to do just as well. We actually get their Viper, which is huge. That Viper had LB. I should not die here if I'm careful enough. That red mage is really committing to me right now. I had to purify that, or else I was probably going to die. There, my team's resetting, which is good. Everybody's resetting. That red mage is looking to make a play with that stun, which is going to cost them, buddy. I'm going to LB you. Make sure you regret doing that. And I'm going to just open everything on them. I don't even care that they're in guard because most of my abilities go through guard anyway. I'm actually cleaving them with the Viper abilities here. That red mage picked up a potion. I'm going to negate their stun with my guard. Beautiful timing there. And then I'm going to purify if the game will allow me to, but I swear on my life I'm pressing my equals button with my button mouse. And yeah, the server just registered it now after I died. Nice! Nice job! I love this game's servers, man. Anyways, we're going to look into respawning here. Perfect kill by Machinist. I'm assuming that's by their mission. No, that's not by their LB, so they could probably look for another snipe kill with their marksman's fight. but they're probably going to die in the process. I'm going to try and get these guys off them, peel them off them. This ninja's going to definitely look for something here, something crazy. The Viper's just going to open on them, unfortunately. But my teammates here actually got the... He should spite that. If he had more health, I would have spited that. I don't know what's going on right now. Team is falling apart here. That's a scales. That's pretty bad, actually. I'm going to look for our ground pot. I'm going to scales myself on point here. Wow. I'm getting everything thrown on me. I'm pretty much dead. Warrior just LB'd here. Maybe they can make a play with this, but I doubt it because nobody's going to be there to support him. He's going to just use his Fell Cleaves, which is fine. Maybe a Primal Ren could be huge there, which is great. That was the Primal Man I was looking for. Beautiful play! We got 3 kills off of that. Oh my god, this is going to be perfect. What a nice setup for a comeback here. That Warrior actually played that correctly, even if it costed him his life. You see, that's the type of plays that I like to see. Anyways, we're back up right now. We're going to actually abandon our team, trying to look for this Viper who's probably hiding somewhere on the map. As you can see, he's right here. I want to force his resources out so that when he goes to contest the point here, he doesn't have much to work with. So in doing so, I'm also going to be diverting attention here. A strategy that I said I'd demonstrate now. We're going to just use the Viper stall tech, make sure that the whole team is focused on me, and not even focusing on the point here. There's the Viper LB that's used on just me. That could have been better used on my teammates here, who are all clumped up together. A White Mage LB would be huge here to set up for my teammates here, which they're going to do exactly that. Get the Red Mage caught and the Ninja caught. Hopefully the Ninja doesn't look for any Cyclone plays, or rather their LB plays. That's 1 kill. It's going to make the game 4v4, which is exactly what we want as we're spawning here, because I also have my Viper LB. This can help tremendously in turning the tides of the fight here. There's the Ninja LB on 1 target. They're probably going to look my Machinist now, unfortunately. I'm going to LB point here, and immediately after scales. You know why? Because that Ninja is actually still rolling with their LBs, I believe. So we're going to not give them any more room to get more kills here. I'm going to continue fighting, actually abandon the fight because it's a 1v4 or 1v5 now. And I'm going to coil, make sure I have a skills ready for when things go south. I still have recoups here. I'm going to scales right now, get the Viper to hit me. He's going to scales my skills, which is a very smart play. That's exactly what you want to do in Viper mirrors. I'm going to make sure I can make it to this ground potion. Hopefully I do. Please recuperate, and then we're going to just guard as our last stand here. Make sure that these 2 players are still diverted from the fight here. I know I'm going to die eventually here, so while he scales out, he's going to Viper dash into me. I'm going to just run around. That's his LB. I unfortunately have no guard to respond to this, nor do I have skills. I do have skills. That's the only thing I can do, really. And then yeah, that's about it. I think this game might be over, unfortunately. We're going to end on a 2nd loss, but that is completely fine. That is completely okay because, as you can see, we did not demote from silver. This is actually a very nice stopping point, a very good time to demonstrate that, you know, thing I was explaining at the end of episode 1, that there kind of needs to be demotion for various things like that. I mean, it shouldn't happen right away at the base rank of starting of a rank, if that makes sense. I think, you know, there are, you know, different systems in place. Like, I think of League of Legends. So I did leave off the question last episode. I'll leave off with the answer here. There are ranked systems that do sort of reward players for getting to certain ranks. By that I mean, like, if you hit gold in League, if you hit plat in League, it'll take a serious number of consecutive losses for the game to justify you demoting you back to a whole base rank of gold from plat to gold. In this game, I think something similar does need to happen, because you can't expect a player to essentially think that they're progressing and then after a series of losses justify even leaving them there. That is a serious problem that needs to be addressed by doing the right thing, which is demoting them in the name of making them understand, hey, you can't just lose continuously and think that you still belong in silver. Does that make sense, right? I mean, for me, I just took my first loss in silver, or rather 2 losses here, but the 2nd loss shouldn't immediately demote, if that makes sense. So for any Square Enix developers or any Square Enix people watching, that would be my suggestion for PvP in the nicest way possible, because, you know, I can say things that may be out of line, and I completely understand. So I think to be more productive, to be more understanding, I think, yeah, we kind of need demotion in this game. Neither here nor there, guys. That will be the end of the episode here. It's going to be 2 wins, 2 losses, unfortunately. That's going to cost us, you know, maybe some rank time or whatever, but I will try and make these as often as I can. given that today's a weekend, at the time of this recording, I was able to squeeze in some time, maybe an hour of gameplay, which I think is perfectly healthy, perfectly fine. But I will be doing this more often in the name of trying to race against the clock, as I stated earlier. So I will end the video in the same place that I ended it last time, which is, my little chill spot here. With that said, guys, I appreciate anybody who was watching right now. If you made it this far, please leave the comment, I don't know, volcano, so I know you made it this far. And with that said, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time, which will most likely be tomorrow if, I have time and, things are willing. Neither here nor there. Bye!